I'm here to talk about DBD matchmaking. This will be a bit less of a coherent video and more of a story with some side tangents along the way. So buckle up and let's talk about it. I'll start by saying I have a very rudimentary understanding of how matchmaking works. To my understanding, as a survivor, if you escape a trial, you're more likely to go against a killer that is more experienced. And as a killer, if you kill more survivors, you're more likely to go against a survivor team that's more experienced. And generally, MMR is divided into low MMR and high MMR, with low MMR being characterized by baby survivors and killers, little playtime, and sometimes being paired against people way better than you. And high MMR being characterized by strong and experienced killers and survivors, much more playtime, and sometimes being paired against people way worse than you. It's an imperfect system. I'm a killer main, so I'm primarily going to be talking about the survivor teams that I face. Throughout the years, my approach to killer has fluctuated and evolved. I used to take the game too seriously, and I'd often find myself getting really stressed out going against strong survivor teams. And then I was a little too silly, and my MMR tanked, and I'd go against baby survivors, and then I'd feel really bad for them, because obviously I'm not a baby killer. But in these past few months, I've found a sort of equilibrium, a system, if you will. I always intend to kill survivors, but I allow myself to relax. I usually spare the last survivor, and my best games end in a 4-man slug race. That's right, my best games are those where I just have a great time with the survivor team and then everyone gets out. It's unintuitive, I know a lot of people don't play like this, but casual DBD belongs in the game just as much as competitive DBD, and this game would be way less interesting if we didn't have a wide range of players. Speaking of competitive DBD, I want to go on a bit of a side tangent about how it is kind of like super boring. I've never taken part in official, competitive DBD. And the closest I've ever gotten to it was when I played more seriously and I'd play against coordinated Swifts. And it was really boring. The dead hards, the decisive strikes, it felt like all of the humanity of the game was replaced with cold, unfeeling efficiency and optimization. In my experience, the heart of Dead by Daylight is the human interaction and the spontaneity of survivor and killer interactions. So now I find myself in the limbo of what I would assume is mid to low MMR. That means I likely could kill the teams that I go against, but what guides me, my North Star, is the knowledge that if I win too many times in a row, I will ultimately enjoy my matches less. I play with respect to the survivors that are likely a little bit less experienced than me. Like this Nia, who ran into a dead zone, so I took a step back so that she could get to a safer loop. It's not optimal, it's not efficient, and I'd say I kill about half the survivors I ever face. But every time I log on to DBD, I have a good time. So my knowledge of high MMR DBD only comes from an outside perspective. I read the comments and I hear my community talk about survivor teams and killers with the same perks, the same add-ons, the same boring strategies. And while I can sympathize because it sounds really frustrating, there's a reason I've never made a video that was like, this P100 squad versus my P100 twins. I don't see that side of Dead by Daylight. And this phenomenon might be a reason for a lot of arguments in this game. Your experience of Dead by Daylight is valid, and it also might be entirely different from someone else's experience of it. Just something as simple as what time you play could entirely change the type of survivor teams you face. I learned that the hard way, and it's why I never play past midnight. So you might have terrible matches, and you see someone else talking about how they're having easy or good matches, and you think that they're wrong. But these experiences can exist in the same space. Just because I never face insanely coordinated survivor teams doesn't mean that they don't exist. Just because I never face hackers doesn't mean they're not a problem. But on the flip side, not everyone is going to play like they're in a $1 million tournament. This Sable stood in front of a sleeping Charlotte so that she could jump scare me. She wasn't on a generator. She wasn't doing the most efficient thing. I'm not here to talk about ways to improve DBD matchmaking because frankly that's entirely out of my wheelhouse. I talk about whimsy and human behavior and guinea pigs. But if you are having a very bad time with Dead by Daylight right now, first of all, I'm sorry. Video games aren't meant to stress you out and make you miserable. And second of all, there might be an entirely different side of the game that you're not seeing that might be better for you. I think it's a little ridiculous to strive to be in high MMR if you're not a particularly competitive person. The end goal of DBD shouldn't be to exclusively go against syringe-having dead-hard finesse survivor teams. You gotta find a system that works for you. And if you haven't found it yet, you should absolutely be willing to take breaks from the game because playing it nonstop while not enjoying it is definitely going to take a toll. Before I move on to the conclusion, I'd like to thank my wonderful Ko-Fi people. Thank you, beautiful folks, for funding the art that I use in my videos. Special shout out Nelson and Fluffy, my longtime friends and incredibly important community members in my Discord. Back to the video. If you'd like to respond to this video by listing everything wrong with DBD matchmaking, that's your prerogative. I won't stop you. It might be a little healthier to practice introspection and consider what you enjoy in this game. If you just want to turn your brain off and kill everything that moves, do it. If you want to stand in the corner of the map and look at the wall all match every match, do it. Use your precious free will to get the most out of this weird and wonderful game. That's my time. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you, lovely people, next time.